Well, what are we fixing today? Today we're going to start something that is going to take me a few days, but we're going to try to fit it all in one video. We'll see. At this point in time, I have parts ordered. I only have one part in. But, so when I lived at home years ago, my dad was into boating. He had a 14-foot, 18-foot, I don't know, and a big fiberglass IO boat. We went on Lake Michigan. We went fishing, did other stuff. Didn't do much like water skiing or anything like that. We also had a small fishing boat, 14-foot open aluminum boat. He had that up at the cottage. You know about the cottage. You also know that I don't really go on the lake because, well, I didn't have access to the motor. Well, right now, earlier this summer, I brought the motor home. My father had passed, and so had my mother. So I was finally kind of allowed to take the motor home and, use it. Except it's locked up. So we're going to work on not doing a rebuild of it, but we're going to, we'll just say we'll get it going, and we'll do a service on it so that I can use it up there. In a couple of weeks, we'll be going up there for a month. I would have liked to have had it this year. Oh well, we'll have it for next year. I do have a canoe up there, which I think I'm going to go out on this year since I have a whole month. And I have a little more time on my hands that I don't have to always be at the cottage. So, yeah, let's just take a look at that and see what we got to do. This is the motor. It's a 1950 kind of vintage Mercury 10-horse outboard. And I know when I last used it, it worked great. For that little boat, it pushed it around really nice. It's a Merc 110. It has the old German name for Mercury on it. Whatever that is, Kiefer. And everything seems to work. It will shift. It, choke. All that stuff. The throttle will work. But, at this point, it's been sitting at least 20 years. Sitting in it's not heated, so sitting in an unheated space, but in the dry. For a while it was in one garage. I thought it was still in that garage, but it turned out to be in another garage. Anyway, it's been sitting, and at this point, it's locked up. So, step number one is we have to get it off of here, put it somewhere where I can keep it dry, keep it apart for a while, and get into the top part and put some penetrating oil in to loosen that up. I have coming condenser, because those sometimes go bad after a lot of time. I have a head gasket in case I got to pull a head. I got some carburetor parts. I'm going to probably take apart the carburetor, clean it up, because I'm sure that's probably gunky. As far as, diaphragm's bad, crusty. I'm going to change the oil in the lower unit. And, stick it in a barrel and let it run a little while and see if it works. So, worst comes to worst, I'm pretty certain I'll get it freed up, but if I don't get it running the way I like, across the way with the little yellow Mini, I have a neighbor. And the neighbor is great at boats, so he'll help me. But we're going to give it a shot in the meantime. For right now, next move is to move it into the garage. This is the boat motor. Let's take the cover off. We're sitting here in the garage in a protected place now. So to take the cover off, there's a couple levers here and here. Figure it off, and you can see that this actually works. It's a little sticky, needs some lubrication, but that works. But this don't turn. Since these are so easy to get at, we're just going to go with the easy button here. I see this wrench on the bench, so I'll use it. Look inside. It smells like oil, a little dark but fine. Again, same thing, a little carbonized, running a little rich, but fine. I don't see like a bunch of rust or anything, right? I see some carbon. Oh, the other one. Oh, let's see something a little browner in there. If I had an actual bore scope, we could look. See the carbon around the edge of the spark plug hole, maybe? Okay. So I don't know what's causing it to not turn. It's not in gear, is it? Forward, neutral, reverse, neutral. It's still gonna turn. So we're gonna load it up. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Threads in. Look at that. First thing that's going to go in there. Some PB Blaster. Next thing that's going to go in is some ATF. Cylinders are full, and it's just holding water, which means that, yeah, it's stuck. In theory, there should be some leakage by that or something. Leave it sit like this for a few days. We'll see if the liquid drains out, which is the hope. If it does not, then we start torquing on that a bit. All right, update soon. Well, another day working on the boat motor. It's been a couple of weeks actually. So let's see what's going on. I think there's progress, but so here's the boat motor. As you can see, one of the cylinders, all the liquid has leaked out. And the other one, some of the liquid has leaked out. So I think that's a good thing. I have added a little bit in this one that's full a couple times. So added a little more transmission fluid into that one. So some stuff has come out, and if you look down here, that's stuff coming through exhaust from the one cylinder. So we are going to get on here with a little torque and see if we can break that loose. So I'm just going to use a little torque. I don't want to break things. I do have a head gasketed here for that. I might just take that off anyway, but I want to see if I can break it loose without. And the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to see these notches in here that are used for the recoil. I'm going to stick this in here. And I'm going to tap on it. Oh, see it move? And liquid's gone. It didn't take much. Back and forth a little bit. Threw some more transmission fluid in there. Both of them. Make sure it's well lubed in there. Okay, kind of stuck again. Just this piston, one of the pistons towards the top is a little tight yet. Needs a little help. Pour a little more juice in there. Moving all the way around. The one part where it's a little tighter. Now, I don't think I'd do this if I thought there was water damage. There was no signs of water damage, and it wasn't stored in a dry location. So, just stuck because of metal on aluminum, I think. There's a spot where it's tighter. A little more fluid in there. I'm really bad at this. Got stuff leaking out all over, which is okay with me. Let's just go with, I broke it loose, and we'll see more next time. Let's reassemble it. Check for compression. Oh, there's compression, all right. Okay. Let's clean this up a little. Let's take it outside. Now the motor. All right. Upright. This works. Turn. Turns. Put this back down. Free spin. Gear. Gear. Free spin. Alright. This turns with compression. Alright. Get this turned around. Okay, here's the roof. This pad's a little goonched. That goes around the spark plugs, huh? Let's not goonch that. Put that back to kind of where it belongs. I think I was going to lubricate that a little bit. A little WD-40. Stuff seemed to want to stick. There we go. All right. Let's try this again. Make sure it just stays where it belongs. Hood's on. Give it a couple pulls just to see where we're at. All right. Okay. Well, this connects to here. Let's clean that side off too. Okay, that one's on. Okay, open this. Open this. Squirt fuel. And I feel fuel. Now I can't run it long. I don't have any water. I can start it. Make sure it starts. That's my goal. All right. I really like to hear a fire. Doesn't look like I'm going to. All right, open it back up. Keep in mind I have like zero troubleshooting experience with these sinks. Gas coming out of the carburetor when I tip it up. All right, so we'll put the roof back on for a minute. Do another shot. The problem with these motors is the recoil's in the hood. It's up here. So you kind of have to have the hood on to engage the starter. Which is sort of weird to me, but I understand. Okay, now this is all the way forward. I think that says start. This is choke. This is telling me I'm not getting any fire. So I do have to get that off. So, let's take that thing off. Look at the points. I have a condenser. Impact wrench. Comes right off. Of course, it's a relative term. So have a puller, just not a correct puller. See if I can make this one work. As long as I take it easy, so only by hand. Goes. There's the flywheel. And the key. Very important. Let's get this cover off. Oh, it advances timing this way. Oh, this is the throttle. Interesting. When I turn the speed up, it changes that. Alright, well, whatever. The points look pretty crappy. Oh yeah. Points need a little sanding. So we're going to do a little sanding on the points. what the best way to do this is. I don't have an emery board, which would have been perfect. I don't have a points file handy. Those I know I have, but I don't know where. Let's go. Let's fold it over. We get both sides at once. I'm just going to apply a little extra pressure, maybe. Oh, I can see metal. It feels better. I can see metal. So, good. Do that over here. I really should get one of them little things you hook in the spark plug with the little, you know, a spark indicator, a gap tester. That'd be nice. Okay, well, I'm not messing with the gap, because I don't know what the gap should be set at. Now I know where my feeler gauges are. So then I'm going to find a meter and make sure that condensers aren't shorted, because I do have a condenser. Make sure these look like they ohm out. And we'll go with that. I got my meter. Okay, 5 ohms is dead to short. Shorted, so that means it's connected. Connected. Not much I can tell because I got the coil in my way both ways, but they both look the same. I don't know. Clean up the points, let's put it together, see what happens. And always pop it back off again. And just like going into plastic, these are self-tappers into aluminum. And you really don't want to be cutting the threads every time. So what you do is you set it in there. Make sure you don't drop it. And I did drop it. It's not too far. Then hold, and then you go backwards until you hear a click or feel a click. And then you can go forward. There. That means you found the threads. All right. Try to stick the key in that side. And way out like that. Ah, that looks like it worked. That looks down all the way. I think that worked. So that's the key. Stick it in the flywheel. Don't stick it in the bottom. Flip this over. Okay, bump this on, but not real hard. All right, give it another try. Choke back on, put that over back at the start. Make sure the fuel's pumped up. choke. Well, I don't know. I'm just going to consider breaking it loose from locked up as a victory. And I might just take it to somebody to have it serviced. Because I don't know what I'm doing. Well, I think that's going to be it for episode 1 of the boat motor. I took it apart enough to get the spark plugs out, soaked the cylinders, got them so they didn't move again. Used, what was it? Some rust busting thing. I forget, anyway, I'll put a picture of it in the thing. I used that and some transmission fluid, got it broke loose. That took about 2 weeks of soaking. Then brought it out to try to start it. It wouldn't start. I cleaned the points and it wouldn't start. So I don't think I'm going to, I want it to work. I want it to work well. And I could maybe hack at it for a while and do things, but I think I'm just going to take it and get it serviced. So that's probably it for this. Next time you'll see it, it'll probably be at the lake. So thanks for following along. Sorry we didn't get too far with it, but I showed you how to break it loose very, very gently. This was one that didn't get soaked in water. It was just age-related stuckness, or aluminum cylinders, or whatever the cylinders are, and the rings and stuff just kind of moistured and got stuck. So that's where we are with that. Until next time, give me a like if you can, subscribe. Those are all good things. And next time we'll find something else fun to do. So dump trucks are noisy, and don't forget it. Bye.